Yes. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Lion's Den with Seth. So I don't have my co-host this week. He's out taking care of some business at a beautiful wedding. So of course you got to take care of things like that, but hopefully everything is good with you. Happy Sunday to everyone out there. If you're watching this right now, please let me know that you're here in the building. If this is your first time checking in with us, make sure you go to streamyard.com/Facebook if you're on the Facebook app, so that you can give your comments and people know that you are in the place to be. Right on. Yes. But again, this is what we do, y'all. We talk about all things leadership, growth, and development within the household to out in the community. So if you don't know this by now, this is the time frame for the spring difference. It's the newness and everything, right? We got kids that's out of school, spring break, right? They out there getting it in. But what I want y'all to think about is, what type of time are you not only giving your children, but what are you exposing them to? The reason why I asked that is because I had the great opportunity of being a part of this incentive that I talked about last week called the Legacy Institute. Excuse me, drew a blank for a second. But the Legacy Institute
It's an outstanding organization where individuals, teachers spend their time on the weekends, right? This is for 8 weeks, as a matter of fact, talking to children and giving them information on leadership, right? Black history, budgeting, finances. Look, I even needed some of that. And even chess, right? And just sportsmanship and just mentorship all the way around. And the ages ranges from, I believe it's like 5 up to 18, which is just super, super dope, y'all. But I want y'all to really think about this as we go into the show, as far as not only what we can expose our children to, but what are you doing? Right? What are the things that you're exposing them to and how you can get involved? So I want to introduce my guest this week, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Eric Payne. Let me tell you something about this brother. He's super, super dope. Before I go into how he's helped me change my way of thinking. But Eric Payne, he's the executive director and CEO of No Pain, No Gain, LLC. Okay, a non-for-profit. He's a senior level instructor over the St. Louis Chess Club in CWE, and I believe that's Central West End, right? Because y'all know where I'm from, right? Listen, I'm still learning my way around the loop. But anyway, he's been doing chess and teaching chess, right, for over 7 years, and he's even started in the first grade. All right. He started off as a first grade teacher and he started to teach chess during class in the morning. But I don't want to go too deep into, what he has done, but I want to let you know that this brother here has a heart to not only teach, but has a heart for the children. Ladies and gentlemen, y'all give it up for Mr. Eric Payne. Yes.
Thanks for having me. What up, Seth?
What's going on, brother? What's up, Herm? So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you about this brother. So again, I got to the institute, right, doing my thing, just peeping the scene, and then I saw this class with this brother, and he was like, "Hey, you're interested to learn?" And I'm like, "Okay, let's do it." He said, "Hey, you know how to play chess?" And here I am. I'm saying, "Well, yeah, the game of life, that type of chess, not on the board, but it maybe in the streets a little bit." Yeah. He was like, "Okay, well, it's no big difference," and that piqued my interest. Yeah. Right on, didn't it, brother? Wasn't that a good? That's a great connection. So look, man, just let everybody know a little bit about you, man.
Hey guys, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Eric Payne, and like Seth said, I met this gentleman at Legacy Institute, which, like you said before, is an 8-week program. I'm actually the chess teacher there, and Seth so happened to pop his head in. I was like, "Yo," I said, "Hey, bro, do you know how to play?" He said, "No." I said, "Come on," and the rest is history. And I must put this out here first before I say anything. This brother is the first individual I've ever taught that has learned all the pieces in 2 days. And it normally takes about 10 weeks or more. And he's got it in 2 days. So shout out to Mr. Seth.
Yeah, thank you, brother.
Gotta give him his flower while he's here.
Thank you. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you what, he was saying that, right? I think he was, I think that's his first grade teacher type. Come on, you're doing a good job. I'm like,
yeah, I appreciate it.
But not only is a testament to the way that he was teaching, but it just made sense to me. So, but go ahead, brother. Look, tell individuals, how you got really started in that. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna pop up the scene as far as advertisement for the Legacy Institute. While he's
Well, so basically about 7 years ago, I go back further, maybe over 30 years ago, my good friend, I'm sure he doesn't want me to put his name out there. His name is Mr. Boyd. I was looking for a part-time job about 8 years ago, and I got connected to Mr. Boyd, but really I got connected to his wife because I was going to do something else. And make a long story short, he called me back and was like, "Yo, Eric, I can use you." And I already knew where this was going because this brother was a gifted middle school math teacher who quit his job, highly educated, went to KU, went to UMSL. And I'm thinking to myself, who quits their job to teach chess? But I always felt like chess was so hard. It was so complicated. It was for privileged kids. And he said, "Eric, I can use you. I need a beginner chess teacher." I was like, "Mr. Boyd, I don't know how to play no chess. I have no desire." He said, "Come on, Eric, give me a shot." This brother met with me for 4 days at the Wendy's on Page. He taught me one piece at a time, but keep in mind, he didn't teach the way that I teach it. He actually kind of watered it down. He just showed me each piece. We didn't even really play any games. And we didn't even get to, I think we got to the pawn, the rook, the bishop, the queen. He showed me a little of the king. I was just totally lost. We didn't even get to the horse, which is the knight. Then he said, Eric, listen, I'm just going to put you out there. Let me show you all your schools. He has all the Ladue schools, like the app. Now, keep in mind, Mr. Boyd is a brother. All right. Mm-hmm. He showed me all of his schools that he wanted me to teach at MICDS and on and on and on, Monday through Friday. And he just threw me out there. And, you know, I'm a firm believer. We all have gifts. We all have God-given gifts. Some of us have more than one gift.
Yes.
And he put me out there. Remember, he wanted me to be his beginner chess teacher. He already had intermediate chess teachers, advanced chess teachers. And I'll never forget, and I'm not making this about ethnicity, but I'll never forget. He said, Eric, whenever I get a black child, I embrace them. And I'm like, what does that mean? Because I noticed at these tournaments, there wasn't any people of color. Now, hey, the game is for everybody, but I'm going to go really, really deep. I'm trying to get too deep just yet.
Oh, go ahead.
So I saw 4- and 5-year-old kids learn how to play chess. I've seen a 5-year-old playing with all the pieces. And I was like, is this real? They're like, yeah. And before I knew it, he had given me over 20 boards with a suitcase full of white and black pieces. So I was teaching with this particular city school, first grade. I had 24 boys. Every morning, not before school, not after school, but for about 45 minutes during school, I made it a station. We did one piece a week. And I saw, Mr. Seth, I saw children who had behavior issues calm down. It took a while. I saw kids that couldn't concentrate start to do their work. I saw kids that had learning difficulties. I can go on and on. And whenever, you know, most of the school districts are about numbers, about the map testing. When it was map testing time, every one of my kids' scores went up. All of it. Even if it was just 5 points, one kid went up 130 points. And they got so good to where, let's just say the fifth and sixth grade, fifth grade teacher would not come in, and instead of them getting a sub, they would split the kids up. Well, they would give me 4 or 5 kids, and I would have my kids, my first graders, teach these older kids. Now we do, man, and I was like, Lord, if I can spend the rest of my life doing this, I will. Be careful what you pray for, brother, because I started doing it privately. Something happened. I went to a different school district. Something happened. There was some people always say it's not always what you know. Sometimes it's who you know. Someone introduced me to a director over at St. Louis Chess Club. I was like, man, I'm not that good. I just learned. They said, no, Miss Payne, we heard about you. Mm-hmm. They gave me some knowledge. I've been practicing. I kind of have my own, as you know, Mr. Seth, my own strategy.
Right.
How I teach piece by piece, not putting all the pieces on the board at one time. That's too much.
That's right.
Especially for 5. My youngest student is 4.5. Mm-hmm. And he can sit there, Mr. Seth, and play with all the pieces, and the rest has been history to a point. People have been saying, man, you should start your own. I was like, but I kept hearing Mr. Boyd's voice saying, anytime I get a black child, bro, the rest has been history. I have kids that have been with me for 2 years, 3 years, some 5, and it is a life-changing game, bro.
You know, I love it. I love it. You know what? So here, first, let me give a shout out to everybody. I see Big Herm. He out there. He watching. What's going on, man? I know you're out there just cutting up, doing something out of line. Miss John, how you doing? She says, I love chess. It definitely makes you think a little deeper.
Oh, yes.
Programs your mind to expand and focus step by step. And look, yes. I'm gonna tell you something. You remember day one when you were showing me the moves and everything, and you know, we was having a conversation. Next thing I know, it was time to go.
Facts.
Man, that time went by so fast. It's like I forgot everything that was around.
All around you, right?
So crazy. And ladies and gentlemen, I can be completely honest. When it came down to the game of chess, you know, I had mentors that tried to tell me back in the day, but it was different because all the pieces was on the board, and I was a little intimidated. The fact that I was intimidated, I never thought that I would be, you know, ready to do it again. But the way that you taught it, you're building it up, and then you are relating it to family members.
Yes,
Wait, you know what? I got one of those crazy folks.
Yeah. We all do, brother. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
But now, how did you find your way of teaching?
Like I said, Mr. Seth, we all have gifts, and there's a saying that your gift will make a way for you. And I've always had a desire, a love, and a passion for young folks, man. It's not necessarily a sympathetic sob story, but I grew up without, dad being there. I mean, he's better now. But as a youngster, I needed him. I didn't have that. My mom passed away when I was 5 of lupus. So I really just had my grandmother. So I didn't really have that, I should say that male figure. I had my Uncle Keith a little bit later in high school, but I know what I missed out on.
There you go.
So when it started with my first graders, I already had a love for him, but the fact that this brother gave me a golden egg, and instead of me just sitting on it, I shared it. And I've been trying to share it with not just children, but with adults as well. And the whole idea of making the pieces family. Now, remember, to the people out there that's listening, don't take my ideas. It's not necessarily trademark, but putting all the pieces on the board at one time was too much. So, like I said, the intervention, I noticed, I said, okay, I start out week 1 with the pawns. I'll make those a little sisters, trying to get to grandmother's house. We know later on that once a pawn reaches the other side, where Mr. Seth, I think Mr. Seth just learned this the other day because he's a young prodigy himself in the making, it turns to a queen. So all those little girls going to turn to queens one day. Week 1, play the pawn game. We understand how the pawns move, how they execute, reiterate. Week 2, the 2 rooks, which is the big brother and the big sister. Play the rook pawn game. You understand how they protect each other, et cetera, et cetera. Week 3, add in that bishop, crazy auntie, crazy uncle. I always get some more time because I think we all got somebody in the family, whether it's uncle, auntie, or maybe both. That's a little crazy. Work the pawn, the rook, and bishop together. Play that game. Whoever gets upon the other side wins. And then add that queen. One who has all the power. I always reemphasize, this is not being sexist to my community out there, but we know that in a household, the man is supposed to protect. It's supposed to lead. It's supposed to head. But on the chessboard, the queen has all the power. The man. He's old. He's thousand years old. But that woman, he's limited. But I realized the power of a team when you got that queen and king together. And then, of course, lastly, I teach the king, which the game changes because, chess is all about getting to the king. And I always relate to the kids, whatever it is you want to do in life, that king is going to be the focal point. I use it in the spiritual sense. I always tell them, get to the king. And I also emphasize from spiritual to fleshly, like, ladies and gentlemen, how are you going to get to that king? Somebody said they want to be a beautician. Somebody said they want to be a teacher. Somebody said they want to be a football professional. How are you going to get there? How are you going to execute to get to that king? Whatever it is that you want to get to, it's going to be that king. And this goes back to the movie with Cuba Gooding Jr., I think is The King and I, where he was, have you seen that, Mr. Seth? Anybody out there?
It's been a minute, ladies and gentlemen. Hey, y'all chime in. See if y'all seen that movie. Let us know if you've seen it, The King and I.
You got to see it because it's all related to life. The brother emphasizes how a lot of poor people don't see the end game, which is really how you end the game, the end of chess. Life is all about how you, not necessarily how you end, but how you finish, getting into that whatever it is your king is.
That's right.
And he said to the audience, he said, hey man, he said, most poor folks, they don't see the end game. They just see right now. That's why a lot of them end up in wheelchairs. A lot of them end up in prison. A lot of them end up, in the grave. Whereas people who are privileged, who maybe have that support, or middle class, or upper class, they can see the end game. They end up going to college. They end up getting cars. They end up not necessarily having to work. They become CEOs, etc., because they have someone that's showing them that there is an end. So it all comes down to the piece. And of course, I didn't mean to leave out. The king is a dad, and the 2 horses, which I was telling Mr. Seth, which he just learned too, which that brother's bad. I think Mr. Seth already knows how to play. But I gave the knights the pets. It's a very, very addictive to anyone out there that doesn't know how to play. It is a very, very addictive game and a lot of fun. And it does something to that muscle. Mr. Seth, hey, I don't need to do all that talking, Mr. Seth.
I know.
I think he already knows how to play.
Look, hold on. No, look, let me tell you something. First of all, shout out to you, brother. Yes. For real. And ladies and gentlemen, too, if you know how to play chess, let us know, right? Chime in that you're a chess player, because that's super dope. And if you're watching this, hit the share button, right? Because you never know. There may be some individuals out there that are intimidated as well, because it's not like checkers. And maybe you the king of the checkerboard, but chess is a little bit different. But what it does is it stimulates your thought. I'm gonna tell you this, man. Fun fact. I end up I know that you told me to get into this app and then you was going to give me this password, but I couldn't wait. So I downloaded this game, right? This chess game. I found myself playing it for hours. And I couldn't believe it, to the point where, and I was about to get silly, I started seeing those blocks. Now, look, we had this conversation real quick. Look, I hate to go over a little bit, but so when we started playing the game, he started teaching me the game last week. And I'm like, okay, cool. All right, it's fun, whatever. But I realized that out of all the things that I was doing, connecting with the children, I felt stimulated mentally. And I like that. You're right. I'm that type of person. So then this week, we went a little bit further, and then we sat down and had some lunch, and he was like, hey, listen, it's times when I can just look up and see blocks in the sky and or on the ceiling, then I'm thinking of chess moves. But ladies and gentlemen, here's the deal. What's going on, Fox? He said, I played chess as a kid, but haven't played since. I'm telling you.
Time to get back with it, Mr. Gibbs.
It's different. Y'all listen, it's different as an adult, right? Because it helps your strategic thinking. In a way. So look, man, talk about a little bit of the statistics that you gave me as far as individuals that learn how to play chess and why.
I tell you what, watch this. Where do you all think that most people learn to play chess at?
Yep, chime in, Dan. So where do you think that most people learn how to play chess at? Go ahead, chime in. We'll give you a little minute.
Yeah, a little minute. Where you think? And I'm gonna X out school. School is not you. Maybe after school, but where is the main place that most people learn to play chess at?
What y'all think? What you think?
The best chess players are there. I kind of gave it away, but
so look. Somebody said family members.
Nope.
Right, nope. Somebody said home. Okay. Come on, y'all. What else we got?
Don't get it. Maybe we'll give you a gift card, give you a McDonald's or a Subway gift card. Whoever can figure this is a good one.
Look, the old people. That's old people. Nope. Where, y'all? Where? Now this is a good one.
10 seconds.
All right, 10 seconds, y'all. We got 10 seconds. I'm putting 10 seconds on the board.
I heard home. I heard old people.
Yep. We got family members.
I heard family members.
Home.
Oh,
there you go.
There it is, James. He just got it right as the time went out.
Yep.
Prison.
Yep. Big James.
Now go ahead. I was gonna say the best chess players are in prison. Why? Because they have nothing but time to sit and think. And then all of a sudden they become rehabilitated. They come home and they're smarter. They have I got a family member that's doing time and he sees it. His whole conversation is chess. And I say, hey, but he learned from that one, because that one bad mistake, that one bad move can cost you that whole game, which is game is life. So nothing but time. But my whole focus is to both teach individuals, especially young folks, to learn how to think before they're put into what I would call modern day. I feel like it's modern day slavery, bro.
It is.
You don't have your freedom no more. Instead of learning there, I'm teaching you how to strategically think now, not just one move. I know Grandmaster, ladies and gentlemen. I don't even like to use a title because Grandmasters think like 10 to 12 moves ahead. I might think about 5. Mr. Seth, maybe 6, but prison.
And you know what the thing is, when I forget what statistic I was reading, but majority of the individuals that's in there, they made a decision just like that without thinking, because while they're there, they can be there for the rest of their life, but they're there regretting, right? A situation that was a instant, right?
Yep.
a temporary, a feeling, an
Yep.
emotional thing, and
Yep.
then now their life is over with. So I
Yep.
do appreciate how you're connecting with the youth and helping them on out. And it's so crazy because I've seen it in my own eyes. Ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't done so already, please hit the share button, right? Because this is some information that we want everyone to know. And look, y'all, we're in the building with Mr. Eric Payne, right? No pain.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate this. Appreciate this.
And I mean, so again, so while we're talking, not just talking, but while we're playing the game, I'm looking over to my right, your left, and I'm looking at the kids. And I mean, they are, ladies and gentlemen, they are zoned in. And they boop, 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 boop. Yep. And then you hear a little bit of back and forth banter.
Yep.
You want to talk about that, how individuals' emotions can get involved, but what's supposed to happen?
Well, the first thing is I'm always constantly emphasizing not to talk. Don't even say it. Only thing you should be saying in chess is when you start, I always emphasize shaking hands and look each other in the eyes, because the eyes are the windows to the soul. You can look at a person, you can tell if they're scared, they're intimidated. Shake their hand, say good luck. They will say check, check. If they get the king in check, king got out of check, it's checkmate. You shake it, say good game.
That's it.
Sometimes I hear them arguing. They'll argue over who moved where last. And see, I haven't gotten them to a point that the class, I should say a legacy. I'm using legacy for instance. I'm not requiring them to use clocks yet because the clocks is going to put pressure on them to move. I know some of y'all may say, well, I never quite understood the clocks and what are they actually writing down when they move? Well, in tournaments, and we're not there yet, but in tournaments, normally when a person moves, let's say white starts off first, as soon as white moves, if they're playing a 30-minute game, white hits the clock, his clock stops, but the black player's clock starts and it starts ticking down. So it really comes down to who can outthink each other the fastest. And when they're writing down their moves, they're writing down what piece they move and to what file and what rank they move to. Because like in chess tournaments, you can't cheat. You can't say, well, I win here, I win here. No, they got referees in tournaments. So I have to like literally referee while we're legacy and go over there and figure out who's what. But they keep them both from arguing. I always say, if somebody breaks a rule, raise your hand. You know, hey, I see one kid's, I hate you. I said, whoa. You're not even supposed to be talking. Outthink them. Don't out-talk. This ain't spades.
Right. That's
my spade players.
Y'all,
we ain't hooping. We're supposed to be trying to outthink them. So whoever raised their hand first, I go to that person first. I'll let them explain what happened. And then I'll let the other person who didn't raise their hand maybe at all explain that I'm able to detail or referee. Okay, man, you in the wrong or you in the right. So I will start getting stricter and said, if you break the rules 3 times, you automatically get an L, just like in life. What is it? 3 strikes?
3 strikes.
Ruling you out. It makes them start really, really thinking. And they got to keep their hands in their lap.
That's right.
When I say, put their hands in your lap so you won't bring your hand to the board and get that hand back. Let your mind work. Don't show me your hand.
And so that's another thing I like, not to cut you off. I remember that because you said that's craning. Okay. Yeah. So ladies and gentlemen, when you're on your chessboard and you're thinking, what happens is you're projecting.
Yep.
Right. And I saw that. And then I saw myself doing it. It was like a part of me was like, what are you doing? Because you're looking over here, you're like, nah. You're looking over here, you're like, no. You're telling this person what you see, they see what you see.
Yep.
Right. But if it's almost like poker, right? You don't want to show your hand, you don't want to show your face, but you're just looking, you're scanning, right? And so, and as we were having this conversation, it's just like life. Just like life. You don't want to let everybody know what you got. If you got it, you got it. If you don't, you don't.
Yep.
Right?
Yep. Interesting, brother. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, again, Seth is not telling you everything. This brother came in. I was convinced he already knew how to play. The brother sat down and I would see him not, because in the beginning, sometimes I would make bad moves. See, he caught on so fast and he's an adult. I know y'all may say, well, it's so intimidating. Listen to me, ladies and gentlemen. If you still have your mind, which a lot of you all do, maybe some of you all may feel like you lost it. Maybe you've gone through a breakup or lost your mom, or I tell you what, you start playing this game of chess, it's gonna build that mind back up. That's why I asked Mr. Seth when class was over. I said, Mr. Seth, when they start ringing the bell at Legacy for time us to switch classes, I said, brother, you forgot about everything that was going on. He said, what you say, Mr. Seth?
I did. Couldn't even
Yeah, like
believe it.
everything was going on, whatever was going on in his life, he
Mhm.
was so focused, he didn't even want to stop. He was like, man, that's it. I said, man,
Couldn't believe
you
it.
can play chess for hours. And by the way, please don't let me forget this. If there's anyone out there, because I don't think a lot of you all really understand the benefits of chess for
That was the
people.
next thing I was going to
my
say.
bad.
That was the next thing. Nope. I was going to say explain, but hey, first of all, before I do, ladies and gentlemen, I see James. I see you tagging folks, man. I appreciate it. Look, hit the share button, okay? Hit the share button, everybody. I see y'all watching. You know what I'm saying? Stop being stingy, because this is some news that somebody could use, even if you're scared. If you're scared, don't be scared. But if you are afraid, seriously,
don't be scared.
just try it. But look, if you don't mind, Eric, man, tell individuals the benefits of learning chess, no matter what age they're at.
I tell you what, I'll start with the young folks. Number one, it bothers me when I only find out that most schools are only starting kids off in 3rd grade. I don't like that. Usually when I go to schools, I got a couple of schools I teach at Pomosia. I go there a couple of days a week, and I go to Nance throughout the week, both of those elementary/middle schools, and I start them as early as preschool. All right. And I teach everybody the same exact way. Not that I'm going to talk to an adult like you're a child, but I'm going to teach you the same, exact way. But the benefits, for one, ladies and gentlemen, your child doesn't really need medication. If you give them continuous chess helps with concentration. It helps with focus. It helps with critical thinking, which critical thinking is math, which I'm going to bring this back to my adults in a second. It makes them more creative, because with chess, there is no one way to get to the king. There's over 960 million ways to get it. What was it? 64? I think 64. Correct me if I'm wrong. Squares between two kingdoms. Ladies and gentlemen, it makes them more creative. It changes their confidence. It actually brings out their character. There's so much more. But then for the adults, watch this. One of the first things will change if someone is willing to learn this game. Because I'm going to be doing a no pain, no gain classes at the Normie Library on April the 4th from 6:30 to 7:30. I'm going to have a family class, please. And I'll give you that information before I leave, because classes are filling up fast. Parents are free. Children, I'm going to let you know what the fees are. I'd rather discuss that low key.
Gotcha.
But one of the first things will change for an adult, you will start looking at money differently.
That's true.
Because it's critical thinking. And what is critical thinking?
Mm-hmm.
Math.
Yeah.
You start looking at, some of you all watching this, and you start playing chess, you will start having money coming from all over the place. Because you'll start looking at different ways. You look at your different methods and different ways. You'll start seeing your moves other than focusing on just one move.
That's right.
I'm telling you, I'm a witness. I'm about to become a homeowner here in the future. I look at my finances differently. I'm all over the place. Sometimes I gotta literally make myself stop playing chess, but it's so addictive. But in a good way. I told Mr. Seth, I'm gonna make him a live.chess.org user account. So whenever my brother's bored, hey, you want to get a game in? Yeah, let's go. Good luck. Let's get it in.
Man, I tell you what, man, you're absolutely correct. And I like the fact that you talked about the finances, right? Because I have individuals here that are either retired military or even aspiring business owners. And we talk about different streams of income and how to be the best versions of yourself. But ladies and gentlemen, this is an opportunity to stimulate that thought process, right? And kind of dust the cobwebs off that critical thinking, because it gives you an opportunity to make moves, not necessarily being too aggressive, but not too reserved, but you're making a move to know that, okay, I'm going to try something. And if I don't succeed in this one, I have a backup. Now you can see how we're having this conversation, right? Because, ladies and gentlemen, this is what I did learn, right? And I ain't a pro at all, but what I thought about was, okay, your first move with your pawn, you can either move one place or two. All right. So while you're thinking, you're like, okay, I'm about to move this one place or two, but what is that exposing? Because that means my next player, if they move a certain way and their bishop can move a certain way, boom, it can put me in check. You see? But see what I'm saying? But so you take the game and bring it into life. If I make this one move, if I buy this
risk
car,
risk analysis. Yep.
So explain a little bit more about that, man, as far as, in comparison, as far as risk analysis in this game.
Well, I'm a firm believer in chess. Let's just say I don't want to say the pieces are white versus black, because you notice that, I don't know if you all can see that really well, but my white pieces are yellow and my dark pieces are brown. I don't like to sound racist saying white versus black because the white pieces go first. I like to say light versus dark. If you are the light pieces, which Mr. Seth would tell you, I'll take two pieces, a pawn, a white pawn, and a black pawn. They're actually, the pieces look more like, okay, so here are the actual pieces, but my pieces represent the cards, right? So there's let me mix that up. That's for the black or for the dark, and that's for the light. And just so that, the opponents don't necessarily, somebody might want to be black first, they might want white first. I do this. Remember that, Mr. Seth?
Yep.
You got to choose my hand. Whichever hand you choose, let's say you choose this hand right there.
Yep.
Okay, you get to be white first. So normally white sets the tone. Some players, I know a young guy at a tire place, he does not like playing white. He always likes to play dark, because if you're dark, you're more on the defensive side. You get to kind of see. It's almost kind of like football, a kickoff, right? When the coin toss, a lot of times they may want to defer and let them, because they want to get the ball by halftime. That's the first step in knowing, okay, if you want to be white, are you going to be aggressive or are you going to be passive? That's
right.
I'm a risk taker, but a smart risk taker, because it's always about a risk. Meaning, let's just say I want to start, I got my lawn care, I got growing pains, gardening, and lawn care, ladies and gentlemen, right? And I try to change the subject here with Mr. Seth and whatnot, but I knew the first step was I had to get a truck. After I had to get a truck, I couldn't just use my regular push mower. I had to take a risk and save some money and invest in a riding mower. Then it's like I said, that risk. But I don't want to take too many crazy risks. Like, man, do I want to really buy that $6,000 lawnmower? Do I want that $10,000 lawnmower? So it's all about what risk, whatever. It all relates to chess. Now, I see the board a little bit better now. Now I have clients over here. I make beautiful flowers for clients over there. I do their yards. But I'm always thinking ahead. Even in the wintertime, I was thinking about the summer. Already thinking about what I'm going to do. Not thinking about what I'm going to do for Christmas. No, it's November. I'm thinking about, okay, I know the first treatment has to go down in April, or really in March, that pre-emergent. Right. Who's going to want it? Where can I get it cheaper? It's all chess, ladies and gentlemen. It's all chess. All chess. It's all chess, right.
And you know what I like about that analogy is that our life, if you will, are broken down in the seasons, right? And not just through the totality of our life, but even our thoughts, even parts of the day, ladies and gentlemen. Listen, just our day it's so crazy, because I wouldn't have been able to bring this into the conversation if I didn't understand bits and pieces of the game. But when you first wake up in the morning, it's up to you what you decide to do and how you do it. What's the risk? What's the risk of you making a move versus the risk of you not making a move? You see what I'm saying? I want y'all to think about it, right? I want y'all to think about the difference in the consequences, because yesterday, here it is for those out there that want to hit the gym. Yesterday, you said you was going to hit the gym. Okay. Here it is. It's today. This is the tomorrow today. So now you have a choice. Now, what's going to happen if you keep perpetuating that same choice? You see? So our moves in life, and talking about chess, it starts as soon as we wake up. Those moves.
Big facts. Hey, Denzel Washington said it best in Training Day when he said, "This ain't checkers. I'm playing chess." You remember that part?
Right.
It's symbolic. I always say checkers is like the little brother. Chess is more, it's grown, it's thinking ahead, it's strategic. Where checkers,
it's fun.
So he's saying he ain't thinking small minded. We said he's thinking more big minded. He's thinking way ahead of all these guys, although it end up biting him in the end because he started making them bad moves. Remember?
That's right.
Oh, it cost him. It cost him his life.
Absolutely. So, man, this is crazy. So, how do you teach adults right? Chess, because you got to keep this in mind. There's individuals that are grown, and some of them already are in the mode of a fixed mindset.
Yes.
Right now, how do you
Yep.
kind of break that and kind of crack it open to make it more, I wouldn't say pleasing, but easy to learn?
Well, as soon as a first timer, or I should say a newbie, as Mr. Seth, which I still think that he's advanced already. I think your brother already knew how to play. But as soon as a person sits down, the first thing I say is I have 2 rules. Rule number 1, you must have fun. No getting mad, no crying, no getting attitude, no quitting, and no being afraid. Because what did you say, Seth, in the very beginning? You were kind of intimidated. I was too. When Mr. Boy brought it to me, I was like, man, that's too hard.
Yeah.
No, it's not. So that's rule number 1. Then rule number 2. Now, ladies and gentlemen, please do not take this the wrong way. I would say, meaning a lot of us, we want to use this, but we don't want to use that. So I tell you, you know what? I know you're going to have questions, but to keep you from overthinking, try to save your questions, because I'm going to make it so simplistic. If a 4-year-old can learn, surely if you're in your 20s, 30s, 40s. My oldest student is 91 years old.
Wow.
Anybody can learn, but you can't come in with that. I already know that. No. I don't even want this. I want this. If you give me your mind and your eyes, the rest is going to fall into place.
Wow.
And that knocks out that fear, because a lot of it is just the fear of the unknown. It's fear of like, man, that might be too much thinking. Well, why did God give you a brain? Who was the character in the Wizard of Oz that needed a brain? Who was that?
That was the Scarecrow.
Scarecrow, he wanted a brain. And here we got a brain.
Yeah.
You know, we put in our brain a lot of junk is on TV. Don't get me wrong. I watch a lot of Sports Center, et cetera, et cetera. It seems like it's become more of a soap opera, whatnot. But a lot of times we're putting a lot of junk from our phones, and really I can get the adults, but even with the kids and doing the program of No Pain, No Gain, chess at the Normie Library, one of the managers there said that when kids get out of school and come there, they want a safe haven. The first thing they do is go to the computer, start playing games. So I listen to certain rap songs, and because a lot of them they don't really want to sit down and teach chess or learn chess, because no one's presented to them. And I've been asked this particular library, like, how come you guys don't have a chess program? And they're like, we just can't get anybody to teach it, and here I am there 1 day a week teaching private lessons. And so I have seen so many adults just walk in randomly, and they're like, yo, you guys got a chess program for seniors? And they always told them no, but we're finally going to make that happen, because most of our problems out here? Mental problems.
That's right.
Chess will help that. I'll go even deeper. I wish I had the opportunity to learn chess when both my grandmothers were alive.
Why do you say that?
Because both my grandmothers, for the most part, they passed away with Alzheimer's. And chess, if you look up your research, is supposed to help minimize that. Research shows, you all can look up the benefits. It's going to blow your mind. Even if a person has had a stroke, you give them some chess. Chess helps with the eye-hand movement of the pieces. You're memorizing how to move.
That's right.
So there's some serious research with chess, but a lot of folks didn't become more intrigued in chess until during the pandemic, which I'm sorry, rest in peace to anybody that lost any loved ones during the pandemic, but it was a blessing in disguise for me, because my employer, the St. Louis Chess Club, had required us teachers to learn how to teach virtually. And I utilized that and was able to reach a lot of folks, both young and old. And brother, it is the answer. I mean, it is. I was getting to. A lot of folks became intrigued by the Netflix special, The Queen's Gambit, that came out. And a lot of folks, I have been preaching like, you all, let me show you this game. It's so beautiful. It's spiritual and it's real life. But they were thinking, folks were thinking like how I was thinking when it was brought to me. I was like, But when they saw The Queen's Gambit, they were like, yo, I want to learn. And there's so many other movies, especially for children, where like the Queen of Catway, true story. Poor Uganda little girl over in Africa was going to this after school program just to eat because her family was hungry. Mom couldn't feed all 3 kids. She would go there and eat. It was all boys. She learned how to play chess. Back over those days, it wasn't cool for a little boy to lose to a girl. She got really good. was destroying folks. Next thing you know, she became so good, she got invited to a tournament in Russia where she had never seen snow. What am I saying? This game allowed her a ticket, which I'm gonna get to the scholarships in a minute because the scholarships.
I remember you saying that. Yeah.
Playing chess.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I was a ball player. I was a basketball player, all that good stuff. But basketball and football is not just it. Not everybody is athletically gifted. But she became a doctor using chess as her instrument. True story. Look up Disney's Queen of Catway. True story. There's a lot of true stories, but we don't learn until we make that bad move. Now we end up in the system. Now we become smarter there and I want to teach you why you're free. And what you do with it is your business, but you have, ladies and gentlemen, you have to continuously play. You just can't just go to the gym, work out one time and think you're going to be flexing and all. No, it takes time. It's the same way with chess. And I'm still growing. I'm still learning because the rabbit hole is very, very deep with chess.
Man, that is so crazy. That is wow. So look, tell us a little bit about that, about the scholarships.
So you will have to do a research because there are colleges, which I heard low-key Fonbonne is another one. I heard Webster is another one where they will supply certain grants and certain scholarships and whatnot if you are a chess player. That's why I always tell individuals, whether they're in 5th grade or elementary or going to 6th grade or going to high school or going to college, when they ask on that application, what activities have you been involved in? You put down that you're a chess player. They're gonna, that institution is gonna know, whoever's interviewed, they're gonna know that you are a thinker, you're a critical thinker, you always you're focused, you got concentration, you're not there just to waste time or whatever the case may be. So there are colleges low key, but you gotta play. You gotta get in these tournaments because once you get in these tournaments, that's the first key. You gotta get first of all, you gotta know how to play.
That's right.
2, you get in these tournaments. When you win, my man James says fact, when you win these tournaments, you get what's called a rating. You might start off, you win a game, you might get 10 points, and as you continuously play and those points build up, there's a correlation between, okay, what's your rating? Because people always ask, man, what's your rating? Grandmaster is like a 2,000 or maybe a 2,500. But these folks like Maurice Ashley, who was the only African-American grandmaster, these guys been playing since they were kids.
Right.
I just learned 7 years ago. Right. I'm not going to sit here in cab and say, yeah, I've been playing since I was a little kid. I wish I had been playing since I was a little kid because it makes me wonder, would I even be in St. Louis if I had learned to play? But God had my path differently. I learned later. And now I see, like little baby say, I see the bigger picture, brother.
Right.
I see it.
See, that's so dope, man. So look, you named a couple of movies. You said The Queen's Gambit and The Queen of Cataway.
Queen of Cataway. I think it's Kutwe. Disney's. You put in Disney's Queen of, it should automatically pull it up. Inspiring story. Inspiring, brother.
And ladies and gentlemen, please chime in. What other movies that you know that are based on chess and just strategic thinking? Because you guys already know about the book, The Black Collar Mindset, The Art of Strategic Thinking. It's so funny. Here it is. Have the book.
Pull it out, brother.
Look, so with the chess pieces on it. Right. But here it is now learning how to play chess because I believe that strategically that's life is about chess. But now being able to apply the game to life now, it gives it a whole different meaning. Even the cover of this book now, because now I'm looking, I'm like, okay, cool. Yep. I see what happened. You see, right. But ladies and gentlemen, it is so important, man. Eric.
Thank you.
Man. And look, ladies and gentlemen, while I'm doing that, I do want to make sure I give a special shout out again to the Legacy Institute. So they're still going on right between now and April 22nd. All right. It's actually 10 weeks classes, right? It's every Saturday at 9 o'clock to 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. Right. And then they have breakfast there. But again, y'all, they talk about so much stuff. There's debating, financial empowerment, Black history, the game of chess, what he's take care of, leadership, and all of that. Right. And it's right there downtown in the Confluence Preparatory Academy, y'all. So check it on out. It is so dope. And I had a great opportunity not only to help be a teacher's assistant, but even motivating and talking to the kids because it's so powerful. And here's the other thing. And now I want to go into this one of the last questions. I had an opportunity to learn from the children. Because I heard something that KRS One said in a reel. There was a young lady that asked a question. He says, well, when the young generation learn from the old generation, they will move faster than their generation. But then when the older generation learn from the younger generation, they will move faster than the individuals in their generation. You know what I'm saying? So you have to be able to realize that you don't know it all.
Right.
That you still have the opportunity to learn.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Start with me first. I got a long ways to go. Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So brother, let's talk about how you got involved with the Legacy Institute.
True story. So right before the pandemic, because that pandemic just threw a monkey wrench in a lot of folks' lives.
Yes.
I was teaching group classes at the McDonald's on Page in 170, right? And I had this couple parents of kids, and Mr. Wrong just came in there one day. I had boards. I occupied like 3 tables. I had my demonstration board up. And every now and then when folks would come in order food, they would look in amazement. You could tell the ones that could play and the ones that was kind of talking trash, like, yeah, I know how to play. And I'm like, come on. But Mr. Wrong came in one day and he just stood there. His eyes, he's like, and I said, how you doing, sir? I said, do you always ask a question? Like I met you, Mr. Sid. I said, do you know how to play? He was like, no, man, but I got a program. And I was like, okay, all right. He said, told me about it, what his plans was. And I'm like, man, you already playing chess already. Mr. Wrong playing chess, right? He's doing a great job over there at Legacy Institute.
Yes.
And he told me he wanted to have chess, he wanted to have leadership and financial literacy and debate, African American history. And I was like, all right, here's my card. Give me a call. Almost 2 years later, Mr. Wrong called out to me. I said, brother, I'm just waiting on you. He said, what you need, Mrs. Payne? I said, a classroom, some tables, some chairs where individuals can sit and people.
That's right.
And we started back in, I believe, was that back in the fall? Like the early part of the fall? And it was a tough time because this is season for me. My gardening business is like everywhere. And that Saturday we got started, and brother, it went from, I had a classroom of adults. I had high schoolers. Then I had middle schoolers. Then I had elementary students, and I had a few little preschool kids.
Wow.
Little preschool kids, I kind of got a coloring book that I kind of teach from, but I still teach them the same exact way. And I told Mr. Rohn, I'm not being cocky, I said, Mr. Rohn, chess is going to be their favorite program, brother. I'm telling you, they're going to, not knocking other programs,
right?
But they're going to love this, brother. Man, them kids couldn't wait to come to chess. They love all the other classes too, but it's just that chess, they get to talk, they get to interact, they get to compete. Man, the rest has been history. And here we are, season 2. And I got a lot of kids that I had from last year. Of course, the folks over at Legacy Institute, Mr. Rohn, and shout out to Nikki, who's got a plate full of things on her own, and all the other wonderful staff and board members there. My brother down at Harris Stowe. So I can't think of my brother's name. What's my brother's name? My brother. Man, they came in there and they would sit down and work with the kids. And again, we had to bring in Miss Hayden because she was a parent. Her husband, her two kids there now. Her husband hasn't come back yet, but he pops in from time to time. She's the assistant in my room, so she works with the beginners.
Okay.
And I have the intermediate advanced, but man, we be all over the place in there. You've been in there, Miss Seth, having a great time, bro. That time goes by so fast. Kids be like, oh man.
Too fast.
Like I was like, yo, we playing chess for hours. You guys are only here for like 45 minutes.
Man, it got to a point where I stayed 2 times. I had to stay, in the class, and then another one. Look, I need to come on back.
Come on back.
Because that board was hot.
Yep. Oh yeah. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, this brother right here is a good chess player.
Man, listen, you was playing.
The first to learn in 2 days all the pieces. That has never happened. He is the first. Give that man a round of applause.
I appreciate you.
A round of applause.
I appreciate you, man. And
yes, sir.
I was watching you. You was playing with me and the other young lady, right at the same time. Ladies and gentlemen, look, he was going back and forth. He was like, "Okay, cool. All right, think." think, Mr. Seth, and then he'll walk off. I'm like,
yeah, yeah.
right. And it was
Yeah.
times when he didn't know that I moved or whatever the case is, but he looking, he was like, okay, so you about to make me think. God, boom, then he'll leave. But this was good though. I'm gonna tell you what happened that I appreciated. We got a chance to switch. And then I played one of his advanced players. Okay. Boy, that was some good smoke. That was some good smoke. And she was teaching me afterwards, right? Because we weren't supposed to talk. And she was thinking, boom, she was taking my pieces. And we time went out. So I had more pieces out, other than, outside of her. So technically I won with points, right? Yeah. But we never made it to the check or
right.
But it was a great opportunity, man. So look, enough of that about that. Talk about a little bit about what you're trying to do, what your next venture as far as chess and how individuals can support and get involved.
So I've decided, and I don't mean to sound like I'm preaching, ladies and gentlemen. I just try to be a vessel that God will use, and I've been blessed to be used thus far. I'm just basically trying to take no pain, no gain, which is now becoming a non-for-profit, where I'm going around St. Louis, and not just St. Louis, but preferably all around the United States, eventually teaching chess to young people at an early age and giving them that chance to compete and to learn how to strategize at a young age, not just the young folks, but all the folks. So I have different places that Dr. Crenshaw, shout out to Dr. Crenshaw in the youth center down on Cass Street. I just started doing a youth program on, I think it's Thursdays. No, it's Wednesday evenings, the youth. And on, I think Wednesday, Thursday mornings, I have the seniors as well. And shout out to her because she was there at Legacy this weekend. They're doing a partnership with the Urban League. I'm just trying to grow this thing with as many places as possible. I had this vision of going on a military base. I know you're a veteran, Air Force, right, Mr. Seth? And I had this vision. God showed me this vision, man, right during the pandemic, of having a chess program. And I mean, when I say a chess program, I'm not just talking about some little after school. I'm talking about a rigorous, not only will you learn chess, but we're going to have you playing virtually in class. You're going to be in competitions. And the goal was to take kids out the state and see other cities and compete. Because a lot of folks have never been out of St. Louis before. They're like in high school. But I wanted to go on a Scott Air Force base. I got a meeting with the director there where I wanted to have a post-traumatic stress disorder class. Those guys first. And just like what Legacy is doing, because I've seen the vision, but it's taking a little while, and have a class for all the children on the military base for so many weeks at a time. It's going to happen. I just needed that connect. I spoke to a gentleman over there just last week, and he's intrigued. So that's just one of the steps, but just to get this game out to as many people as possible, both young and old, so you can see that there really is more to life if you really truly put your mind to it and let your mind really work, not just for what you see, but using your mind and not just going off of what you see on the phone, because this is almost, that's another conversation, or the TV or the computer, but get back to being able to sit down with somebody face to face and not always having your head bent over the phone or video chatting. No, let's get back to the basics. Learning this game that will truly take you to the next level. That's what I want to do with No Pain, No Gain.
Love that. Well, look, man, I never knew that was a goal of yours. So offline we'll connect, right? Because I may know some people,
brother,
or a couple of people, not many, but just a couple.
Yeah.
But I've seen it, and I can be most definitely an advocate, not just a testament to how you teach, but what it has done for me in a little of 2 weeks, and then finding a place to actually go, a place in a space of restitution for risk, because you're thinking, you're truly thinking. But anyway, brother, first I want to say thank you for being on, man, taking this opportunity, man. I just knew that I had to share the experience and let individuals know it's never too late. It's never too late, man. So any last encouraging words and how individuals can find you, right? Please let me know and let our audience know, man. I'll give you this last minute.
Okay. First of all, I'd like to thank Mr. Seth for having me. Blessings to you, brother, and for all the ones out there that are listening in or tuning in. You can reach me in multiple ways. For one, I am on Facebook. Use my Facebook. I haven't gone so deep into the No Pain No Gain, but up under Eric Payne, EricPayne. It'll be a picture of my daughter and I on there with some pictures of some flowers in the background because that's my other passion. You can reach me by email, Eric Payne, all lowercase, EricPayne01 or you can simply, I'll give you my number, unless you're not creepy or crazy, 314-583-1470. I'm just joking on the crazy part.
Wait, what is it? Say it one more time. I'm about to put it up. 314?
Yes, sir. 314-583-1478.
478. Okay.
Yes, and I have a variety of private classes if you want to be intense, group classes, and so forth.
There you
and I
go.
started this early, 4 years old. If your kid is in preschool, even if you don't think they will be able to do it, if you give me a quiet place where I can sit down with them, with you in the background so they don't see you, I can start them early. All I ask is consistency and timeliness, and you will see the finished product in time.
Man. Outstanding. Well, thank you, man, for being on. Don't go nowhere. Ladies and gentlemen, check this out. We had an outstanding show, y'all, with Mr. Eric Payne up in the building. Yo. And listen, hey, if y'all got it, hopefully you shared it. If you just getting it, make sure that you go ahead and hit the share button and watch the replay, right? Because we were dropping super jewels. I know you missed it, but it's okay. It's all right. Thank you, man. Hey, so, and ma'am, and we're going to be seeing you soon, and I'll be doing some promotions about that, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to have an inspiring alderman that's running first time in the city that's not outside of here, Fairview Heights. And so we're going to talk about that, ladies and gentlemen. Do not forget this name. Miss Alicia Mitchell. Okay, it's about to get down. But here, ladies and gentlemen, again, you have been watching The Lion's Den with Seth, and I do want to let you know this. The game of chess is like the game of life. I promise you it is. And it has something to do with how serious you take your life. All right. Even though it's a game, just like everything, you have to learn how to play it correctly in order to break those rules. Y'all know I ain't about nothing, but I'm here and I love you. We're going to see y'all soon, and y'all hold it down. Right on.